What a load of I want to get that out there before we even start this recap. The very first opening line from Hamish on this state of the game was asking people if they feel like a victim of a forced update. I honestly don't know what's up with his sense of humour, but it's just not good. He comes up with the most cringy, irritating, frustrating lines to open up state of the game sometimes. But moving on, I would like to point out you have content lead, associate creative director and senior game designer on this stream. And we're going to start with the fact that, as always, there is more unintended stuff with Negotiator's Dilemma, Merciless, and there's much more that people have found bugs with, and it's going to be looked into. As with everything, we are working on it, we are looking into it. If you don't hear that on a week-to-week basis, you know there's something wrong. There was a big problem with the launch of Title Update 10. They've opened up purchases for Season 2. Upon the purchase of the Season 2 premium track, people were receiving every single reward. All 100 of them, people have received. They are claiming it's because the season still kept your progression from Season 1, and that's why everyone got all the rewards straight away with their purchase. But when Title Update 10 was released, Season 1 ended, so the progression should have closed. They will not be taking away the rewards from an unintended bug, but if you look at the higher levels, and I believe some of the lower levels too, you are getting things like named item caches, season caches. There is even an exotic cache on that premium track. Upon opening that exotic cache, you could get an unfair advantage against other players. For an example, you go into a dark zone, you've just opened your exotic cache. Everyone in that dark zone, remember this is pure example, just putting context behind it, every single person in that dark zone has 25% rolls on their gear. So their build is at 25%. This is occupied dark zone you're going into. This is where your gear matters. Like, fully matters. You are in a server and everyone is sitting at 25% rolls. They do not have good builds. You have just paid for the Season 2 pass. You have received all 100 rewards. You have opened your exotic cache and you get a perfect diamondback rifle or another perfect exotic piece. When you go into PvP, that is going to give you an unfair advantage. But they will not be taking that stuff back. And they will probably just reset your progress so you can earn it all over again. So you're getting double rewards. And I'm going to ask if it's still the same case and everyone thinks it's fair to say that you will get an unfair advantage by opening that. Because when the damage glitch existed, everyone complained, even though you're just playing PvE, you can get a god roll item, you can take it into the DZ or play conflict with it, you have an unfair advantage. Is that still the case and you believe that's the same? So these exotic caches can give you an unfair advantage over other players? Or does that completely get disregarded now that Warlords has been out for a little while and we're now on the second season? Because to me it's exactly the same situation and is not fair. Especially how we have the possibility, even though it's not been fully clarified, that you're getting double rewards. And if that is the case, once they have fixed that problem and the season pass goes back onto sale, everyone that purchases from then on will only get those rewards once. Yet the people that purchased it on day one, because they gave them their money straight away, they will get to keep it and have double rewards. Because they really haven't clarified a lot in this stream. But what makes that even worse, if they don't reset your progress, but you get to keep all of the rewards, then what is the point of you paying for that premium track because you've basically just gone through 100 tiers with no effort? And therefore you have nothing to grind for in the seasons. What is the point? You've basically just wasted money. Then we move on to the Mantis and the Vile Mask. They are the exotics that can be obtained by leveling up in the season. On the free track, you don't need to purchase the premium. They are unintended to drop at all in the game right now, so they will be locking them up to their actual levels in the game before they drop. So as soon as Season 2 comes out, you can't get the Vile Mask and the Mantis Sniper straight away. You will have to reach their required levels to get them from the season first before you can get them to drop in targeted loot. I don't know if they're taking them back off players, but they have stated this is very unintended. I'm guessing they will take them away, And just a heads up, the Mantis doesn't unlock until level 55. The Vile Mask does not unlock in that season pass until level fucking 90. You have to get through 90 levels of this season pass in order to first ever lay your hands on the Vile Exotic Mask. I don't know why they are doing this, because if we take a look at this image that I am putting on screen, I am so baffled by what they are doing, because they don't want to force players to do all this stuff. That is not their intentions. But if you take a look at two things that are within the same, I'm going to say like paragraph, it's on the same bullet list under the same category of changes. One, it states that all new weapons and gear from Season 2 are available in the general loot pools. They do not exclude exotics from that list. It says all weapons and gear. They then, if you look at the very bottom of this image, they also state that the Coyote's Mask no longer has a season level requirement. I'm thinking, because Season 1's obviously over, I'm thinking basically they've messed up in some way so that like Season 1 ended or whatever before Title Update 10 come out and people weren't level 35 in the season. You obviously can't level up anymore. Like, this is just an example. I can't remember exact dates of everything ending and starting. Like, I'm not a wizard. But basically, there were problems with people obtaining the Coyote's Mask because they weren't level 35 or whatever for some reason. Because Season 1, that's when it unlocked. So they've now removed that requirement because they no longer have the Season 1 running. So you can get Coyote's Mask finally from a drop without being a set level. But the Mantis and the Vile Mask, you have to be the correct level to get them to drop from targeted loot. They cannot drop before. That's not allowed, because you have to grind your ass through the seasons 10 levels away from max. I don't think it's fair. That is literally 63 million XP for the Vile Mask, because it's 700,000 XP a level. Times that by 10, that's 7 million. Times that, put another 0 on the end because it's 100 tiers. That's 70 million. Then you take 10 away because it's tier 90. 63 million. That's how much XP you need. Some players can get that in a week. Some players possibly faster. Some players are not going to get that for a long, long time. But you have to do that to get hold of the Vile Mask. You cannot get it before. Even though they stated all weapons and gear available in the general loot pools. And here's another one. The open world crates. So this is not doing activities, not doing missions or anything like that. This is when you are roaming around. So a lot of you will know this. You go out of the main door to the White House, you go left, there's a little side section that's just open world stuff. Like, you go down these little stairs, you got like a little locked off gated area, it's got 2 gates, one either side. You normally get a hyena crate, a weapon crate and a gear crate in there. That's open world stuff, not tied to an activity or anything. You'll still, with your global difficulty set to heroic, get purple things. The orange crates that float around, like they hang off certain like trees and stuff, like whatever in the open world, those crates will still drop purples. They've only done it to things that are actually like have some sort of a difficulty to them, so missions and activities. They have apparently sorted out the loot, and this is where Yannick mentions the loot generosity. They have apparently sorted it out so the rewards are matching the difficulty. That is so much bullshit. An unbelievable amount, because it's still not rewarding enough for the time and effort you are putting in. Nowhere near rewarding enough. I know this is talking challenging difficulty, but you are supposed to have a chance at getting exotics to drop. If you're doing the targeted loot, you're supposed to have like a 5%. If you're like a boss drop at the end, let's say it's Coyote and you're going for the Coyote's Mask, it's supposed to be something along the lines of 5%. I have run missions at least 40-50 times, even some on heroic. Not many, but some on heroic. And I have not had a single exotic. I even completed legendary. There is footage coming for that soon because I did something. There's a little twist to it and I'm super fucking proud of what I did with me and my friends. So there's footage coming for that soon, but I've even completed legendary difficulty. No one I talk to that plays the game has had a single exotic drop. I know they're out there, they definitely are, but they are so rare, it's stupid. And the rewards apparently match the difficulty. No way in hell. One of their favourite changes, or one of Hamish's favourite changes, is that it now shows you, I don't know how long it's taken them to do this, but it now shows you what blueprint you actually get when you clear a control point. And the only reason it's changed is because there is for the raid exclusive stuff. It's for a project you get to do with the Regulus and the gear sets, and that's the only reason they've changed this control point bollocks. But another thing is if you go onto the game, and I want you guys on Xbox, like I wouldn't mind all platforms, but I want you to see it for yourselves. Go onto your platform. I know for a fact it works on Xbox. I don't know about PS4 and PC. But go onto your platform, press start or whatever button, get up your menu, go to progression, tab along to the leaderboards, click on mission leaderboards, go to any of them, go to challenging difficulty and look at the leaderboards. They are so laggy, my game pretty much fully froze. I had to restart the game. It was so bad. It literally drops you to 2 frames per second. They will not give you more stash space. They will not increase players in the Dark Zone because it will stop the servers being able to handle what is thrown at it. Yet they have made UI changes to the leaderboards because it looks different now ever since TU10. Nothing mentioned about it, but it looks different now for whatever. I believe they've probably changed it so it looks smarter for the raid. There's so much focus on this fucking raid, it's annoying. But they have changed the way the leaderboards look, and it now makes your game on Xbox lag. I'm going to say as bad as the Dark Zone lagged when Warlords released. That was horrible lag. It was so unplayable. But these leaderboards are so bad with a change that wasn't needed, a change that wasn't mentioned, and yet the things that are wanted by the community are like they're refused to be added because apparently the servers can't handle them. Yet this is causing pretty much game crashes. And would you believe that they are looking into a problem that wasn't actually there, never existed before Title Update 10, and it's the fact that you cannot change loadout at all while skills are on cooldown. I was running a mission the other day, the legendary one. I wanted to change my build up and I just said forget it. I would have had to wait 10 minutes because of my revive hive and how many charges I get with it, and I'm not expecting a fix for about 8 months. It's obvious it's going to come sooner. It's exaggerating, but it's going to be a long time. At least a few weeks, and I'll get into how I know that in a moment. This is the next bit that's baffled me, and I believe this has come across, like, it's come out into the open, they've made it public, because of all the fucking fanboys over on Reddit. Seasons are not supposed to be new content. They're not supposed to deliver new content. They are there for guidance. So if you don't know what to do when you load up your game, then Seasons will give you something new besides just basically running a mission. So in a way, Season 1 was new content. We had, in a way it was, because we had new global events. They had never been in Division 2 before. And we had the leagues, which are time trials. It's a form of new content. But these are not supposed to be new content. They are just supposed to be additions to missions, so that when you load the game and you don't know what to do, they will give you something to do. And they are timed. They're on like a week or 2 cycle. Then they close down and then they'll more than likely be recycled into every future season. But I don't understand it at all. Because people are having to buy Warlords of New York to take part. This is not classed as new content. People, if they want extra cosmetic stuff and exotic caches and stuff now, they have to pay £10 or however much it is. They have to make that purchase to get this stuff, but it's not new content. So, because this is guidance, this is classed as a pointless, irrelevant microtransaction in the game. It is not supposed to be there for new content. It's supposed to be guidance. When you have guidance on a game, you have tutorials, you have tooltips. You do not have a fucking season system to guide players and give them tips on what they can do in their game. That is the biggest amount of bullshit. And if that is the case, if that's seriously what the developers and everyone that works on this game thinks, they have said other stuff is in the works, like skyscraper mode. But that is it. And we are 3 months into year 2 with no new content besides a raid. How long are we going to have to wait for new actual content? If that is the case with the seasons, when are we getting content? Because it's not going to be a strong player base. When Cyberpunk comes out, when Outriders comes out, Avengers, the new Call of Duty, FIFA, players are going to be switching over. They're not going to stick to the Division 2 forever. It's not going to happen. As much as some people would love it, it will not happen. Something better will always come along, even if it is in 10 years' time. For example, something will come out that is better than Division 2 for your personal preference of games. They need to put in new content because players will not stick around to play Grand Washington fucking Hotel another 200 times. I've said this once, I'm going to say it again. This story, if it took me 50 hours, I can't remember roughly how long it took, but we'll say for example it took me 50 hours. I have played over 1,000 hours, I'm just going to say 1,000 for this example. I have done nothing but play the same story 20 times over. All we had in year 1 was 3 episodes. They gave 2 new missions, that is all they gave, and you get classified assignments if you had to pass. Them classified assignments were for a bit of backstory. They were barely missions. You had a few different areas with enemies and then you were off on a fucking scavenge hunt looking for collectibles, which were the transmission things, and then you had a backpack trophy with each one. But the missions were enough. Like, they wasn't enough. They really could have done more, but it was much better than what we are getting now. So much better because we're not getting anything. And there are people that are praising this update. The comments on this state of the game, people are saying it's good. No, it fucking isn't. Literally, the developers could not... Like, when you were in primary school, well, at least when I was, or secondary school, whatever, when you were in school, you have a plastic ruler. That's how you draw your lines and stuff, and that's how like, you use a ruler, yeah? It's plastic. The developers couldn't balance a plastic ruler, not one of the bendy ones, just your standard plastic ruler. They couldn't balance it on a flat fucking table. This game is such a mess. Like, such a mess. Because there are so many things wrong with Title Update 10. They stated less elites in Federal Emergency Bunker. There are more. They stated legendary NPCs will drop more loot. They drop less. There are so many things wrong. Purples are still dropping for level 40 players. I don't give a shit if you've got to go tickle someone's armpit, or if you've got to go kill the meanest, baddest motherfucker in this world. You are level 40, you are maximum level. Purple should not exist. But moving on, I want to say this, I mean, it's the worst game I could talk about in terms of this, but look at Fortnite. Probably by a long shot the worst to mention, but that's a good thing that the game is so bad to mention. Because with a new season, they changed the map. They run events. They change a load of other stuff. They have cool new things to grind for in their battle pass with full-on outfits to level up. You unlock an outfit, or this was how it was when I played it, like early seasons. You get an outfit. For those of you that have ever played Fortnite, the Omega outfit, or Drifter, whatever it was called. You get the outfit, you do certain challenges, or earn XP, get kills. You level up that outfit. It looks more and more badass with each level. The Division 2 Season Pass rewards are all obtainable in-game without a pass. That's the premium track that you pay extra money for. And all the seasonal content, which they are stating as guidance, bollocks, it's an addition to content. Time trials, global events, it's an event, it's a different type of content. It's all been recycled, absolutely everything, from Season 1. We have one new global event because they couldn't think of anything else. We literally have the 3 global events that were featured in Season 1 in Season 2. If you buy Warlords of New York, that's £25, $30. If you buy it, you can play the seasonal stuff. That guidance, you can use that guidance if you pay them £25. And there's no extra cost. If you have WONI, there's no extra cost. But there is the premium track as an optional purchase. But with no expansion purchase, you can't play. That means the seasons are not free. How many more times are they going to state that it is free? It is not free. You have to pay. And Hamish sits there and says, say whatever you want to say to the community as long as it's true. Everything is a fucking lie. Absolutely everything in this game. He also pretty much confirmed the skill cooldown bug. The reason 95%, it's causing 95% of player deaths in the game at the moment. It's a ridiculous thing to have in the game. You can't change your loadout whilst the skill's on cooldown. The revive hive has 3 minutes 40. I believe mine is actually genuinely 220 seconds. And I have 4 charges, as far as I'm aware. I can't remember exactly. I believe I have 4 charges. It's a shit ton of time. You can't change your loadout whilst the skill was on cooldown. Hamish pretty much confirmed that is being fixed because they're looking into it right now. It will probably not be implemented if they find a fix until TU 10.1. Guess how long away we are from TU 10.1? There's no date. They will talk about it in the coming weeks. So it's not going to be fixed anytime soon. I'm sorry, but make sure you've got your right loadout. Do not ever think of wanting to switch mid-mission because you ain't got a chance. If you run Revive Hive, you are fucked for changing loadout. Unless you stand around like a dick for 10 minutes. Now we move on to the part about the raid. They excluded level 30 from the competition for World's First in this new raid. And apparently there was a line I missed out that mentioned this is their first 8-player raid. I don't know if that's 100%. I heard it from a comment. But I'm not going to say that I don't trust it. Apparently it's at the bottom of their terms and conditions or like somewhere on that article that I shared in my video talking about the World's First. But apparently they have done it so that it stops people from kicking off about the balancing if a level 30 team were to do it first. And I think that's a load of bollocks. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you will agree. I think they've done it so they can showcase an extra reward you get for purchasing Warlords. And because if you take a look at all their favourite raid stream teams, they are all going to be level 40, there's no doubt about it. So, there is no need to have quote-unquote regular level 30 players being rewarded in any way. Then they go on to say that they want to celebrate the world's first for level 30 players, but obviously even if there's a Twitter congratulations, there's no wall of fame picture of your team. You don't get any of the same treatment as level 40. You are literally a peasant in front of kings. Level 40 being kings and queens and stuff. You're peasants. Level 30 players. That's how they look at it. That's not me saying it. If I could make a change, I would get them to stop with this bollocks. And I would give Warlords of New York out for free. I would do that and then consider something else to monetize the game that's actually going to be worth it, that doesn't divide the community. If you're level 40 right now, your friends just started playing Division 2, they can only get to level 30. They have to spend £25 to buy Warlords to play at the same level as you. If you want to jump into a raid team and a person that's amazing at the game, they want to be part of your team, but you don't have Warlords, you can't play with them. They can't be involved because the raid doesn't come out for an extra week if you are level 30. It's not fair. And normally at this stage I would apologise about the length of a video and I'd think to myself, fuck me, it's been 28.5 minutes. I can't be asked to sit there and edit that much footage. But I don't care. I'm editing this. I'm leaving it the length it needs to be because this has to be heard. It's not fair for anyone that has purchased this, whether you pay £2.50 or £100 for this game. It's not fair. This is what makes it even worse. This is a senior game designer saying this stuff. Nikki states that the raid exclusive backpack and chest, Foundry Bulwark, Future Initiative, states that they can be obtained from season rewards during the state of the game, which is absolutely not the case. Do not think that because that's not how it works. It was mentioned probably because people were saying in the chat that they got them chests and bags from standard loot. If you have proof of this, please send it to me. All my social media is down below. I am so interested in seeing this stuff because I can't personally believe it for myself. I haven't found any. My friends haven't found any. I want to see if these are genuine claims that the chests and the backpacks, not Eclipse Protocol, Foundry's Bulwark, and Future Initiative, has anyone got them from playing the game? But anyway, moving on. Nikki later said on Twitter, come out and said he was wrong, and they are raid exclusive. And it annoys me because he's a senior game designer that doesn't know anything about the game or just can't relay info correctly. Because it's not the last time, but the time before when Nikki was on State of the Game, he stated that exotics were not supposed to be best in class or best in slot. Literally the following week, Bruce had to clarify that that's not how the info is supposed to be taken. That is not the case. The whole team, everyone that goes on State of the Game, and probably people in the studio that don't come on the streams, there is no communication at all with any of them because nobody ever gets corrected about mistakes with info. And I mean, to be fair, Hamish barely ever even listens to the other people on the stream anyway. He's normally doing his own thing. But the thing that really irritates me about that, like, I'm glad that Nikki did come out and say, look, sorry, I got it wrong. But you got it wrong on a stream where according to YouTube, 11,000 people have watched this stream. On Twitch, probably more, possibly more, whatever. I'm going to say there's been at least 15 to 20,000 people that have watched this stream at some point and probably heard that being said. The correction was on Twitter. If you don't know Nikki's Twitter handle, if you don't have a Twitter account, you are not going to know that that was a mistake. So when you are playing your game, you get access to Season 2, and you've seen State of the Game, but you can't go on Twitter for whatever reason, you're going to look through that whole of Season 2, if you haven't already or whatever, you're going to think, well, senior game designer, Nikki, told me it's in the game. Why is it not in that season track? That reward track, why is it not there? I was told that I was able to get it. And then it comes out, oh, it was a mistake, sorry. You're being told wrong information by the people that designed the game. That's like how bad this shit gets. Like, people don't believe that this game's bad. There are people with their eyes closed. They don't have a clue what is going on and how bad this stuff is. But it gets bad. Really, really bad. They claim there is, this stuff, it might have already been mentioned, but it was stated pretty much midway through Agent Highlights. Ugh, they do my fucking head in as well. All these cosplays and stuff. Because the state of the game is the state of the game. Shouldn't be showcasing people doing drawings and dressing up. That should be for Twitter. State of the game should tell us what's happening within the game. My personal opinion, nothing towards the cosplayers or the people that do the art stuff, but it shouldn't be showcased on State of the Game. That stream is not for that stuff. But they claim there is no difficulty change in NPCs with this update, but they do hit a lot harder again. So once again, we are waiting for checks from the devs, and we'll probably see a fix in their huge bug list for TU 10.1. So we're possibly, if they do find them PC changes and they are hitting too hard again, probably going to have to wait around 6 weeks, maybe a bit longer. I mean, at that point in time, we are very, very close to the launch of Avengers, Outriders, Cyberpunk, Destiny 2 Beyond Light. There's a lot of stuff coming out, and they're not going to fix much of this stuff, if any of it, before then, really. And this is the last one that I really don't get either. A bounty. An activity that you can pick up in-game. You can either do the normal ones that are on your map, or you can go take down let me just say public execution. The last enemy or whatever of that will potentially drop you a bounty for any faction. They are apparently now scaled better to global difficulty, or whatever, but because it doesn't actually in-game count as an activity, you will get scaled loot from the boss. So if you go and kill this arsehole boss that's in your face, you're going to get scaled loot. But the crates during these bounties will still drop purples, even if it is a heroic, bloody bounty. Because for some reason, an activity in the game, the form of content in the game, doesn't count as an activity. A bounty has no meaning. It's literally just a bounty. There's nothing else to it. But that's pretty much all I have for State of the Game. And I've had people saying, can you do something positive? Regarding Division 2, can you post a positive video? And there possibly are a couple of positive where I'm just playing the game, but when it involves talking about things going on within the game, the state of the games, the things that they're posting on Twitter and stuff, I'm not just going to post positive for the sake of it. I'm going to tell you the truth, exactly how it is. I'm not going to lie, and I'm going to try and get my information as correct as I possibly can, but I'm not a dev, so some things might come across wrong. Whatever, no excuses. I will tell you exactly how it is, my opinions on everything. And this State of the Game again was a fucking shambles. So much confusion, so much miscommunication. This is supposed to be a company that has created a AAA full price game. And they are now working on other projects, so there are games coming from them possibly in the near future. And with the state of Division 2, I can't imagine them being any good. But that's going to do it for this one. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.